Good evening, everyone. It's September 26th, 2023, and we've had the final session, which I was looking forward to the downside, and that was I wanted to see some really nice high volumes coming in, and I wanted to see us run these lows or at least get into this 428 number. And we've done just that, and on the Qs, we've also managed. Just make sure this is up here. On the NQ, we've also managed to finally run that monthly low, which I was looking for, and again on some nice strong volume. So now what I want to see, and again, this is what I was looking for yesterday at that high close. I was saying this looked to me just like low volume covering and failing to expand a range on a Monday. It didn't really look like much to me. It looked like a fade. So now what I want to see, and sorry, really quickly, it's neat that today and yesterday both opening at pretty much the same price. So if we're able to get above this open, to me, it's made a really critical spot. Anyone who's looking to enter longs was able to grab product when these stops were ran under this balance here. And once we get above the open, these fellas here who were shorting into the close, into that low close, will be trapped in fuel for the move upwards. I'd mentioned earlier on Twitter that I was looking for a spike down into the close. I wanted to see that heavy selling, and I wanted to see it essentially trap individuals ahead of Wednesday's trade. Speaking of Wednesday, only durable goods. Thursday, we have GDP and JPOW, so ideally, we get an entry into the swing trade on Wednesday, and we see it pop settlement highs, get into this kind of 433 area, and kind of put us in a safe zone heading into Thursday and Friday. Again, what I'm looking for is kind of a move up to this open area, reclaim it, and then ramp up to around that gap close. Kind of a $10 move. Same thing on the NASDAQ, opens here, reclaim that open and get into that gap close somewhere around there. So kind of a 2% move at the minimum is what I'm looking for to the upside. Again, I'm not in any positions currently. I'm waiting to see evidence of buying. I want to see evidence that the shorts are trapped. I want to see us reclaim some sort of major level, whether it's last week's low, whether it's this week's open, settlement highs, settlement lows, whatever you want. I need to see a reclaim of some sort. In terms of trades, am I looking at this thing? Well, to the downside, I'm mostly interested in longs, to be quite honest. Whether that's the gap close long here around 422s. Sorry, that gap close was sitting right here. That's the actual price close. If we close the gap, held it, and reclaim this area, I think we'd be able to move back up. Whether it's there, whether it's above today's close, kind of today's close and reclaiming this 426 level, this kind of balance level here, or whether we get back inside the -2 standard deviation of last week's VWAP or that weekly point of control. Not too sure. Overall, I'm looking for a move upwards, and then I don't think I updated these zones, but I am long biased, to be quite honest. Perhaps up to here. Here will be the last area, in my opinion, for shorts to maintain a lid on this thing above the weekly open and today's open, and I think this thing is a buy. I think this thing ends up trapping the enough shorts, and I think we turn up to the upside, getting into here, breaking this kind of on the ES, I believe this is about 43.50, 43.65, something like that, breaking this downwards momentum trend line since Thursday and getting into these settlement highs and stuff like that. I think that'd be sufficient move for a Wednesday. For a Wednesday, I think that'd be more than sufficient. I think at that point you'll have made a what is that, including the overnight, a 70-point move. I think that'd be a sufficient range, more than sufficient, and perhaps you get some selling around here, although I would not be looking at short bias or to take shorts. I think I'd be trying to get long on the move upwards. That's what I'd be looking for. On the NASDAQ, you guys can see this? Yes. NASDAQ, same idea. I want to be long above today's close and back inside this kind of balance here around 354, 371, that monthly low from August, and then this balance, this sort of levelly area, this kind of in-between levelly area, but more importantly, the monthly low and -2 standard deviation of last week's VWAP. Get a move up, into settlement lows. This would be, in my opinion, the last place for shorts to hold it. Above, same idea as ES. I'd look to the long side, either at 356 and 77 cents, or waiting for that gap or for the reclaim of the weekly open there at 356 and 93 cents, and getting up to settlement highs around 360. So it would look like a long to me upon a reclaim of last month's low and the -2 standard deviation of last week's VWAP below. If we're unable to reclaim the close, the point of control, all that sort of stuff, I would instead look to lower prices, breaking today's low, getting into that 351-ish spot, this sort of level here. Perhaps bids, although I'd probably be waiting for the lows of this multi-day balance here around 348. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. So again, big picture, I'm leaning towards a reclaim of the open, today's open, the weekly open, settlement lows, all that sort of stuff, and a move upwards. Same thing on the Qs, looking for a move up, reclaim of last month's low, the weekly opens, last week's low, settlement lows, all that sort of stuff. Then moving upwards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be extremely hesitant to short trade to the short side in the next coming few days. I will, if I see a short trade, I'll honestly probably just skip it. I'll probably only be taking trades to the long side, just given the history of end of month and end of week, or end of month and end of quarter, especially this year thus far, being extremely bid. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Have a great night. Trade safe.